Evening, film fam. We are here December 1st, first day of December, one of the last few Mondays we got left for 2025 before the new year rings in. We got a special guest today, and I want to just start this off the right way. So, in the meantime, let's see if I can get some comments to confirm that our audio video is good, and we'll get this bad boy started right off the top. Um, I know it's starting to get cold, and a lot of people are trying to go to bed early just because cold makes you be more sleepy, right? So, hopefully, we got some people watching and they can comment and ask some great questions tonight on the live. So, what's up, Lynn? How you doing tonight? How's the sound and video? If you can confirm that is good, we'll get this thing kicked off right. All good. All right, appreciate that. Brent, what's up, brother? How you doing? All right, so let's get this thing started right. So there's our comments. We're up here. We got Fernando, Wayne. What is up, people? Good evening. Good evening. I don't hear you. Why don't you hear me? I thought I was all good. Wayne says it's all good. Fernando, you got an issue with your sound, bro. Fix your sound, Fernando. All right. First and foremost, right off the top, I do want to give a shout out to our sponsors of the week. We have Important Sauce and Autobahn, the two sponsors of the week for this week. With their help, we can help grow this community and provide stuff like the giveaways and do better things for the community. So definitely want to give a shout out to Important Sauce and Autobahn. If you know these guys or if you haven't used their product, give them a shot, try them out. Turn your hearing aid up. Sounds good. I like that. Turn your hearing aid up. All right, so let's get this thing started, right? All right, so that is that. Let me come up here. Let me bring my co-host who is here but not here, but okay.
I'm here.
I like that. That's how we're gonna start it off. You're gonna go walk by. I'm here, and then disappear, right? How's it going?
All right. Just trying to get caught up on a little laundry, I guess.
Awesome, awesome. All right. So without further ado, guys, looks like he fell in love. Something happened. The comment's gone. Anyways, let's bring on our guest. Good evening, Patrick. How are
What's
you?
going on? What's up?
Not much. You tell us, sir. How you doing? How's your night going?
It's going good, man. Enjoyed a nice weekend, and now catching up from kind of a long holiday weekend. But I got no complaints, man. It's been. I'm hoping that the industry is going to have a really good December. I know it's been a little bit of a weird year, but I'm reading a lot of good things that says people are going to be spending money this holiday season. So hopefully they're spending a lot of it in our industry.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So, Patrick, almost I don't know who doesn't know, like Jordan says, Uncle Pat. Uh, for the people that may not know you, can you please give us a brief introduction of who you are and what do you do for the industry?
Sure. So I have been in the industry, in and around the industry for going on 30 years. I started in the industry as a territory manager for Lumar Vista Formula One way back in the late 90s, and worked for that company for a while. And that's when I was part of the team that launched 44 Tools, which is a company that most people in the industry are aware of now. After that, I spent several years working for corporate 3M I was working as a partner for them to project manage really large window film projects for retailers all across the country, and then having individual shops do all the installs all across the country. So a big corporation would give us 100 jobs to do across the country, and I would be responsible for aligning each job with an installer, getting it done, everything like that. After that, at the end of that opportunity, I took a position. I was running the 3M distribution center in California, Oregon, and Washington, and merged with what was Interwest at the time and became the chief marketing officer there. And then for the last 11 years, I launched a marketing agency specifically to work with people in the window film industry called iMagnet Management. And then, kind of as a side thing I've been doing for about 15 years, I launched Window Film Pros, both the group and the consumer awareness page. And I've been running that for close to 15 years now. So,
Wow, man.
flew
If
through
that
a lot.
wasn't if that wasn't an introduction, I don't know, man. But that I have to be surprised who doesn't know you, Patrick.
Well, I mean, I meet new people every event. I meet people I've never met before, and it's one of the things I love about the industry is there's always new people coming into the industry. And probably one of the things I love about events like SEMA, WFCT, your event, things like that, is without question, I always meet new people that I've never met before, and sometimes they're brand new to the industry, and sometimes they've been in the industry for 15 years, and I still never met them. So it's one of the things I love about the industry.
I love that. That is true. Like you're always meeting people, like, and you're just getting to know more people and just networking, man. And it's beautiful, especially these events that make these things possible for us to network because there are a lot of people that have been in the business for a really long time that don't know each other or haven't met each other, even though they might have been on the same group and stuff. It's amazing, like your group, man. Your group is one of the oldest groups out there, and it's amazing that there's where your group at 12,000, 13,000 people right now.
I think we have a LinkedIn group and we have a Facebook group. Our LinkedIn group, I think, is at close to 4,000, and that's the oldest group. I think it is the oldest actual social media, if you want to call it that, group in the industry, because that one's been going for about 16 to 17 years. That started before the Facebook group. Facebook at that time was more a college social media thing. It wasn't really for business owners. We started the Facebook group, like I said, about 15 years ago, and there's about 11,500 somewhere in there.
Nice.
So and the thing I love about, one of the reasons I started the group, because a lot of people ask, like, if you've been in the industry a long time, there used to be a forum online before social media and everything like that. And it was kind of the only place. It's kind of an older version of what we do now in the groups, but everybody had pseudonyms. Tint Slayer 5050 or whatever the case may be. Everybody had unique usernames. And the problem is, like, the level of, like, back and forth that would go on and the things that people would say to each other in that group was pretty over the top at some point in time. And I thought to myself, it's like, one of the reasons that happens is because I'm not in there. When I was in that group, I was in there as Patric Fransko, but a lot of people weren't. But when you can hide behind a name and nobody knows who you are, you can say the most outrageous things. One of the things I love about the groups now is, your cash and, like, so if I'm going to get in the group and say crazy things and whatever, I'm going to have to run into people at the shows and things like that. And everybody knows who everybody else is. And I think it keeps the level of conversation a little bit more in check. And one of the things I love about the groups is, when you actually meet people in person, now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying in every case, but it's a lot harder to be a jerk online to somebody you've met in person than to somebody that's Kinslayer 50/50 or something like that. I mean, it's a lot easier to be, say some really crazy things when you're hiding behind a username or you've never met the person. Most people,
And you,
go ahead. Sorry,
uh,
I'm going
I,
on.
I, I was just gonna say that after you meet the people too, you kind of get a little bit better feel for their personality, so you can kind of take what they say online, a little bit maybe more lighthearted to the way that their personality is, because there's a lot of times, we take things to heart maybe, and somebody doesn't necessarily mean it that way. Even in everyday texting and stuff too, the same thing happens, so you
Yeah.
kind of lose a little bit of that emotion when you're anonymous, I
Yeah,
guess.
there was an individual that's in the industry. I'll leave his name out just because I don't. That him and I used to go back and forth online really bad back in the day. And one year at the SEMA show, I just saw him and I'm like, hey man, let's talk for a minute. We pull off to the side for like 25, 30 minutes. Him and I have been like golden ever since. Cause it's like we became two people talking to each other instead of two people online, like going and a lot of it's just understanding each other. And I feel like with few exceptions, usually, people are most people are decent human beings. And I think if they interact with people on a personal level, it's usually, they realize that the other person isn't as bad as they maybe made them out to be or whatever. I'm not saying in every situation, but in a lot of situations.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, the other thing I think also is, and I was going to ask you this question is, does your group allow anonymous posting?
Hold on one second. I want to. Hey, Jeremy, I didn't unfriend you. My account got hacked, and I'm in the process of rebuilding my Facebook account, my personal Facebook account. So if anybody feels like I unfriended them, I didn't actually unfriend you. I lost my entire account, and I'm in the process of rebuilding it. So there's a whole new account on there under my name. And if you want to send me a friend request, or I'll look you up and send you a friend request, but by no means did I unfriend you at all. So I just saw that in the comments and I wanted to address it. Literally, probably 6 months ago, and I went through an appeal process and everything like that. But something happened, and they said that my account had posted something that was unauthorized, and they locked my account. And I was hoping to get it back. It never came back, so I had to start. Um, you know, I had to start a whole new account. So anyway, Jeremy, send me a friend request. I'm glad to jump back in with you. That goes for anybody else too, because I had 1,500, 2,000 people I was connected to, and now I'm only connected to like 300. So I'm in the process of building that back up again.
So, in another word, Patrick is saying that people weren't important, so he just clean slated everybody, and you.
Hey man, I was bummed. That was my original Facebook account. I lost so many pictures and things like that I posted over the
Oh
years. I
yeah.
was bummed, man. It was
I
horrible.
I don't know why they have the appeal process because I haven't heard anybody get their account back. It happened
No,
to me
no.
in 2018 or 2019, because you can look at my account when it got reestablished, because I had to reestablish it. And just like you, I lost all my pictures, all my stuff that was on there. And like you don't back those up. You're like, oh, it's on
No.
Facebook. I can go to my pictures and look that up. And there were some lot of good memories. Like all my warehouse stuff was on my Facebook, all my pictures, like all my
Yeah.
guys, all my warehouse stuff, like
It
and
was
and
really
my
it's a
account got hacked
bummer.
and I had the same thing.
I went to look for some pictures the other day that I had, and I realized I don't have them on my phone or anything like that. They were on my Facebook page, and I don't know if I'll ever be able. I don't know if I could get it back anymore. So, but yeah, they have the appeal process. But literally, I did the appeal, and it was like nothing happened. Just not. I finally decided to launch a new page because I was like, I don't think anything's going to happen here. you know?
That same
Hmm.
thing happened with me. Like I said, it was either 2018, 2019. And it said that your account is under review for 30 days. You have a chance to appeal and stuff. I spent multiple hours trying to appeal with them, trying to send them messages. Never really got any solid response. Never got connected with anybody. And then after 30 years, my account was gone. Like I lost everything. And even when you're in appeal, here's the thing: they won't let you access your account. Like at least
Yeah.
like let me download my information. Let me like at least get your my pictures back and stuff. Like all I
Yeah.
wanted was that. Like I didn't care about setting up another account, but man, it hurts when that
It's crazy.
happens.
It's crazy because, we use Facebook as like a online scrapbook in some way, shape, or form. So when you lose all that, it's like, man, I've lost like posts and memories and things like that. Like you said, that you just, you lose them for good. But anyway, so long story short, we don't need to get by sidetracked on that. But I didn't unfriend anybody. I can promise you that. I didn't unfriend anybody.
Patrick's a too nice of a guy to unfriend anybody, but yeah. Sorry to hear that happen to you, Patrick. That really sucks. I lose
Yeah.
I lost my
Yeah, me too. Somebody somehow changed my password on MySpace.
Well, the funny thing is, MySpace is still out there. Remember we discovered that 6 months ago, and Ryan was trying to get back to his MySpace. I don't even remember
Yeah.
what I use for MySpace. That is so old, man. We are really showing our age with MySpace.
Well, like I said, when I first started Window Film Pros in LinkedIn, I started it in LinkedIn first because Facebook at that time was for college kids. It wasn't like nobody was doing business, or like Facebook was just a place where college kids were hanging out. So, then Facebook just quickly, when it took off, like MySpace just sort of went to the side.
Really, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Well, we just lost Ryan, so I don't know if he got hacked or if Stephanie hacked him.
Well, hopefully he'll be back in here. So
Hopefully he'll be back. But hey, man, appreciate you doing this. I know we tried this a few times, and it's awesome that we're finally able to connect and have this conversation on here because there's a lot of people that love to, ask some questions like Jeremy right now, saying, "Hey, why I got unfriended?" And we just got to the bottom of that. But I love that you have so much history and experience in here that so many people can connect with you and they're very frank to talk with you. And that's one of the best thing I loved about you is that every conversation we always had, man, you're a very friendly person to approach to. You're same way online as you are in person, and going back to a lot of those people that are keyboard warriors, in real life, when you meet them, a lot of them are not that until you understand them or understand their personality, like Ryan was saying. And I found that out big time by going to some of these events. A lot of
yeah.
these guys that I met that were online that always were sound like they were bashing people or they were just not, they were being more cruel. It's just that a lot of them are old school and they've learned the hard way and they like to kind of put that in the words. But there are also a lot of anonymous people that will hide behind the keyboard. So there's both aspects to that. Just wanted to kind
Yeah.
of say that, hey man, I love the where our industry is kind of going, and we're heading in the right directions. But man, to know your history, man, I love that resume. That's awesome resume to know.
I mean, I will tell people, like, a lot of people like ask me, and I'm pretty open about it. I've been in and around the industry for like close to 30 years, but I'm not the guy that's I feel like every one of us has a role to play in the industry. I'm not an installer. I've been to installation schools. I could probably get a car tinted, whatever. But to me, it's like every industry needs people that have, occupy different roles. I'm not the expert on tinting in any way, shape, or form. Yes, I can tint flat glass. Yes, I can tint a car. It'd probably take me 4 hours to tint a car now. So, I'm not going to make a living doing it. But I feel like that. you got to be honest with who you are in the industry. I think a lot of times when, um, I think a lot of times when people get into trouble is when they try to front that they're something that they're not. It's like, I've been in the industry a long time. I understand a lot about the industry, but I'm not an installer and I don't try to pretend that I have chops in that way because I don't, you know.
Right. Well, what was your biggest struggle dealing with people?
You talk about in the groups or just in general? Like,
In the
I
groups,
mean,
like, or let's talk about the groups. We can talk about in general after. Let's talk about in the groups. What is the biggest struggle that you've had dealing with people in these groups?
I think, the biggest thing is, as moderating a group can be a challenge because I think a lot of times people will post something and it's kind of going to go down a negative road, and you can tell very quickly it's going to go down a negative road. And if you moderate it, if you remove that post, then people are upset that you removed their post. So you got some people that are upset that you're, censoring the group if they think of it that way. And you got other people that are in the group specifically because they know your group sort of weeds out a lot of that type of stuff. So I've had a lot of people that I'm friends with, that I would consider friends, get upset with me for removing a post. And, I always try to explain to them why. And I don't think he'd mind if I say this, but, Mike Nord posted something just the other day in the group. And before I removed it, I sent Mike a message and I said, Mike, I'm going to remove your post. And this is why. And we had a quick chit chat back and forth, and Mike was totally fine with it. And he was like, "Oh, I totally understand." But you know, I think the hardest thing about the groups is that there are times when is if you're the moderator or the owner of the group where you have to step in and kind of be the judge and jury. And I think sometimes people get upset with you for that. But I think if you want to have a productive group, I think you can't just let everything fly or it just gets out of hand.
hmm Like
Well,
I was I talking about this with you, Cash? No, maybe not. I was just talking about how Matt Blackmeyer just changed or turned off the finally turned off the what do you call it, anonymous in
oh, did he?
313 too. Yeah, yep, yep,
Thank
yep.
God, man. Like, I was so annoyed of that. That was one of
hmm
the first rules we did for our group was like no anonymous like posting. You know,
Yep.
we already have enough keyboard warriors, and then when you put that anonymous there, man, that just opens a whole bunch of can
Well,
of worms in there for you. So that's why I was
and
asking if you
Matt's
guys
got an
had
awesome.
anonymous posting on your
Yeah,
group because I don't think I've seen that, but I might be
I don't
mistaken.
think I have. I think we have it turned off. But I mean,
Oh,
Matt's got a terrific group. I mean, but Matt's even got a bigger challenge because his group is public. So
yeah.
it's like anybody and everybody can come in there. So,
Yeah.
you really gotta, when you have that and you have people posting anonymously, it can get a little bit out of hand.
Yeah, that's what his post said. He said that he didn't have a problem with the anonymous post, but he said things were getting a little bit out of hand, and thought it would be a little bit easier to kind of keep track, and I guess it's accountability when it comes right down to it for what you say.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's one of the things what back to what we were saying 5 minutes ago. I think when you have to post something as yourself and you're saying something as yourself, and then you're going to go to SEMA or you're going to go to WFCT. I mean, I think people keep themselves in a little bit more check when they realize that everybody's going to know that they said that and they're going to have to stand behind those words. And I think so it's not like us having to moderate. I think people self moderate when they understand that, people are going to know who it is and who's saying it.
hmm
right. I mean, accountability, I think, is now being held more accountable than it used to be before. I think is because a lot more people are meeting each other more often. Now, before all you had was WFCT and SEMA, right? So now you got
Yeah.
Tinder battles, you got WFR's reunion. Now, we're gonna have our film fest. There's 44 tools, the tint off they have. There's so much now collaboration meetings, get-togethers. Carlos has a nice little get-together, Tintapalooza with you know, Wagon Guy. We've been talking about him in here, but it's a lot more gathering. There are more people that are trying to become more of than rather just like acquaintances. Now you're becoming friends. You're really becoming that family that we talk about, the tin family, the film family. The industry is now becoming more of a whole. I was just talking to Robert Foster the other day about something very similar to that. Is like, hey, we call each other family, but how do we hold each other accountable as family members? And I think it's a great topic tonight to kind of talk about that, and you're kind of leading that conversation very well on that, Patrick.
Yeah, like I said, we are. I mean, we are a big industry, but a small industry all at the same time. I mean, and I do feel like, you know, we're because our industry, in my opinion, is still scratching the surface of what's possible. I feel like if we approach things as an industry more like, hey, we could accomplish so much more as an industry. I'm an abundance mentality guy. And what I mean by that is for me to win doesn't mean you need to lose. Or for you to win doesn't mean we can all win together. And I feel like a lot of times in this industry, we have to get rid of the idea that if one company's winning, that means somebody else is losing. I feel like we're just scratching the surface of what's possible in this industry, such that it's like, if we just all focused on growing the industry, we could all grow together. It doesn't have to be a zero sum gain of if this person wins, this person loses. I think we got to get out of that mentality and work together as a family. And I think that that's what's going to grow the industry. And I think of that is having some tough discussion. We can't get into pricing discussions or things like that, but as an industry, I think we've come out of we're now, I think, with a lot of the things that are going on in the industry, becoming a more respective part of the automotive aftermarket segment. And I think we need to continue to foster that and not, you know, I think that, when I first joined the industry, this industry was not held in as high a regard as it is now. And I think we need to continue to push it forward.
Right. I mean, and holding accountability or like having positive posts over negative posts, man. Like it's just like looking at a glass half full and half empty, right? Like we can look at it both ways, right? But where does it do you any good when you're just looking at it in a negative way? There's earlier this year, Jason, Jordan, a lot of people were talking about men's mental health awareness. I mean, really little things can add up, and it can trigger from a little post, it can trigger from a customer, it can trigger from something negative at the house. It could be a lot of little things. We already get a lot of negativity in this world. So when we're setting up these groups, man, to put up something that can hopefully affect somebody positively, because all we're trying to do is promote positive. I mean, nobody's positive 100% of the time, but all we can do is try to be the best we can, right? Like your prayer
And it's
Mondays,
tough. I
man.
mean, it's being
It
an entrepreneur is tough. I don't think enough people talk about the fact that running your own business and doing that, there's certainly a lot of benefits to it, but it can be, tough at times, and it can take a toll mentally and the stress that comes along with it. And it's not all, you know, flashing. A lot of times you see the mountaintops of everybody's journey. You see when they're talking about how many cars they did that day, or they just did a couple full PPF job. You see the mountaintops. Nobody talks about the valleys. We
Yeah.
all have the valleys, but the only thing people talk about online are the mountaintops.
Mhm.
And I think we need to be real and say, being an entrepreneur is tough, and there's mountaintops and there's also valleys too, and I think sometimes when people are going through the valleys, they feel like they're the only one, and they're not, you know.
Right. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. I think a lot of people want to become the millionaire overnight. A lot of people want to just skip right to the top. they're not looking at the time and effort that's put in to get to the top. A lot of people don't like, people talk about Mike Dorg, a lot of these guys that have really made it really well and are known in the industry, but they don't talk about, how bad they had to work and how hard they had to work. Look at Randy Humphreys, man. I mean, this guy is a beast when it comes down to installer wise, but he just had to had his knee surgeries happen, right? Like the guy is beat to like where he can't even stand up straight, so having hip surgery, knee surgeries, there's so many guys that's really put in a lot of work into this. Ryan here has a back problem. He bends wrong way and he's effed up for the day or longer.
Can
How many
happen.
times he's got to go see a chiropractor. It's not funny, man. It's a lot of work. That's he's got almost 30 years in the game. He's assassin for a reason, right? Like he's literally put in that time in there. I can, I love to come out and try to compete and go toe to toe with some of these guys, but at the same time, I'm gonna be realistic. Is I can't be as good as somebody that's been putting in 10, 15, 30 years, been doing this day and night. Eliu, man, he's trying to be a competitor, a heavy competitor, and he's at almost, 40 some years old, trying to get back his 20 some body because he's working his ass off to be a
Hey man,
healthy person.
did you see him at SEMA? He's doing a pretty damn good job at getting that 20 somebody back.
Bro,
He's
he's
looking good,
killing
man.
it. He's killing it. I love it. I want to give him props for that because he
Yeah.
is killing it. He's bringing that body back, and he's dedicating himself. There's a lot of conversations, meetings that I've been, and Elu's been on it. Man, he's on the damn treadmill, or he's in his gym. He's got a little gym built up in his garage. And
Yeah,
we're looking at it. We're like, "What do you got in there?" Like he's always like, "I'm in the meeting," but he's doing something.
yeah, in a Google Meet, yeah,
He'll be in the
scrolling and
Google Meet
stuff.
and he'll be doing exercise while he's in the Google Meet, man. It's like awesome. The dedication he's put in is, and we don't talk about that. We don't talk about the dedication. He didn't just get that body, right? Uh,
No, and people didn't just get it successful. Like whether it's getting your body back to where you want it to be, like he's doing, which is awesome, or building a successful business. You know, I'm sure there's a random case out there that somebody will point to and say you're wrong. But most people that have a successful business, you're seeing that after years and years and years of unbelievable amount of work. I mean, I'll just speak for myself, and in some ways, I don't even know if it was a healthy level. Like when I first started iMagnet, I mean, the first, you know, 7 years of we've been in business now coming up on 11 years, but first 7 years I was working and unhealthy. Like I was 70, sometimes 80 hours a week on the regular. I mean, it was, and to the point where I look back now because I have a son that's a senior in high school and I have a daughter that's second year of college, and I missed a lot of things to build that business. I mean,
Yeah,
it built the business, but when I look back, I sacrificed a lot of things that looking back, I'm like, man, I gave up things to attain that success. So when people are successful, whether it's building the body Elio is building or building a business, very rarely does it not come with a lot of sacrifice. And I think again, when people see it, all they see is a success. They don't see the
the
70
work.
hours a week
Yeah,
that went into that.
yep.
well,
Or Elio being on a Zoom call with on the treadmill. They don't see that part of it,
Yeah, yeah,
and then there's failures like us. We're trying to lose weight, and every time I try to lose 5 pounds, I gain seven, and every time I lose
yeah.
seven, I gain nine.
Hey
I
man,
mean,
I hear
I
you. I
I was
hear you.
supposed to be in a bet with somebody trying to lose weight for tenor battles, and I'm ashamed to say I gain weight, especially with these damn holidays and these travels.
Oh,
Being at SEMA for a week.
the holidays are the worst, man. The next 30 days, it's like everywhere you go, around every corner, there's a plate of cookies, there's this, there's that. It's like horrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
Candy, cookies, extra meal dressing, whatever it is. It's like, don't be shy. Grab a plate. Make sure you're full.
Hey Jordan, I see your comment, and I want to comment on that and say I applaud you for that. It's something that I didn't keep sight of, and I wish I would have. And I would encourage any of the younger people in the industry. Doesn't mean you can't work hard, but don't lose perspective of what's really important. I at times in my career did lose perspective, so I applaud you for that.
It's easy to, like I had a period of time there where I didn't even realize I was doing it. I was so busy that I think this was right like COVID basically, right? There's so much work, and I've been in this industry close to 30 years, and I've had my ups and downs, and the slow times, and then the times where there's not too much work to even do. So now, like I have that. It's like when the work's there, I want to do it, right? Do it, do it, do
Yep.
it. So I was working 7 days a week. The 1 year there, I think it was it. I think it was the summer of 2020, maybe. I did 4 months straight, 7 days a week. And like because everybody's calling, and I just wanted to get them in. I wanted to get them
Yeah.
in. And back home, I'd been there so long. I had such good customers. I want to take care of my special customers too, right? Get them in as soon as possible. And my wife, she said to me, she's like, "Hey, when are we gonna get to see you?" I'm like, "You see me every day. I'm here every night. You see me every morning." She's like, "Yeah, it doesn't count when you come home at like 10 at night and then fall asleep by 11, and then you're out in the morning." And then a few days later, I think my son, who was no, it was probably my daughter, I guess. My son was probably only a year old. Said something to the effect of like, "I miss you," and I'm like, I see you every day. Like in my mind, I'm thinking I see you every day, but they weren't getting like quality time with me. They were just seeing me. I'm passing. So that
Yeah.
made me open my eyes and realize, just because I'm there and I'm in the same house doesn't mean that they're getting me.
Yeah, and it takes discipline. I mean, discipline, is the ability. I'm the same way you are. Like, I never want to say no to like anything. Anybody wants me to do something, yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll be working on Sunday at 8 o'clock at night. I'll get it done. Same thing with like Elio is showing discipline. He's like saying no to the plate of cookies. Without like
Yeah.
anywhere you want to go is going to take some discipline. And it's to me, I feel like 3 years ago when I had my diagnosis with cancer and I was sitting in the hospital, I could tell you this, that brought my actual priorities into crystal clear clarity that I have tried not to let go of since then. Because I can promise you, when I was in that hospital, I wasn't thinking about landing that next job, landing that next client. I
Right.
promise you that.
Yeah.
I saw a post today, and it was a post about a guy that had a close call, and he's somebody that's well known in another industry, and he made a post about it, and he said, "Listen, I had a really close call to death. Like it was a car accident. He could have um, just died, right? But he's like, dude, we do so much think that things are not gonna happen without me. How the world needs me and this and that." And he's like, dude, a few days after there was a holiday and everybody was celebrating the holiday like normal, right? Just give him a realization that it- with him not being there, if he had died, the world was still gonna continue
Yeah.
regardless. But it's the what he does with his life and what he does with his loved ones is what's gonna last, what's gonna count for it. um I was having a very deep conversation with my wife earlier today. In fact, just today, she's talking about like, hey, the opportunities you had, and our kids now growing up, they're going to college, they're gonna have jobs soon, and you know their opportunity and this and that. And I'm like, the opportunities since you met me. You don't know the opportunities, the sacrifices I had to do before I met you. Now,
Yeah.
like I'm doing an almost like a 9 to 5, but not really a 9 to 5. But I'm like, even in the beginning of our marriage, you saw that I worked for 14, 16 hours, right? I'm
Yeah.
like, before that, I used to work 18 to 20 hours. 3.5 hour, 4 hour sleeps what was
Yeah.
normal for me. My hustle was like we opened the shop at 7, we close the shop at 8, 9 o'clock. We come home, have a quick dinner, and I was up on my computer doing websites and at work until 2 a.m., 3 a.m., trying to meet deadlines and trying to earn some side hustle so therefore I can be successful later on in life. But there's a lot of backaches. Like I talked to her about it now, and then I'm thinking like I'm gonna have a conversation with I don't know if Labubu's in here. Is like, we kind of talked about like maybe doing a drive to Tinder battles, and now I'm like reconsidering that because I don't know if my body can take you know a 12, 13 hour drive because my ass and my back hurts like hell even in being in a plane for 3, 4 hours.
Oh,
I
come
Yeah.
on,
live
that's
have an
nothing.
airborne procedure with me. Everybody knows that.
12
I
hours.
I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh
drive
no,
home
I
and
give
then
him a hard time. It's like 12 hours, nothing.
No,
well,
I think
yeah,
that
you're
you.
used to it, man. I'm hurting. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah, I'm here.
I spent a lot of time in the car. I don't mind that as much, but one of the things, like I said, that I've done is I just, I just, now, like, I don't, if you guys know, Cash, I left SEMA after Wednesday night. I took the red eye home, and I was there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I took the red eye. Typically, I would say the whole week, but I wanted to take my son. He was going on a college visit. My wife was going to take him. I'm like, oh hell no, I'm not missing that. So I took the red eye home. My wife and my son picked me up at the airport, and we drove straight 6 hours to the college visit because I'm just at a point like we were talking about a second ago where I don't want to miss those things anymore. I missed a lot of those things. So it's like now I'm kind of like where when I'm going to punish my body like that, I'm going to punish it for things like to see my go on a college visit with my son or go. My daughter plays water polo at Ohio State. Go to a game. My son's going to be playing lacrosse in college next year. So to me, it's going to be like, I'll drive all night to watch my son play lacrosse. Like those are the
Hmm.
priorities now.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you've gone to the point in your life where you've got more time on your hand to kind of manage some things and let other
Yeah.
people, get to it. And I'm not quite there yet. So, there's a lot of stuff that still has to be done, on hand. And I want to get to that. Honestly, this is something I've talked to Ryan about before too. Is like, hey, I want to have a 5 year plan where we're now delegating. We're having to. I like what Burke says this on his post sometimes. Is like I can still tint um, like a badass, but I can only tint for 1/4 of the game. I can't do it for the whole game. I'm at that part of my life where it hurts. I can't keep up with the younger people for the full game, right? But if you need me for the last 2 minutes to finish it strong, I can still finish it. I can still kick ass. I can still lay down film really bad. But it's the consistency, right? But
Yeah.
I can now tint when I want to, and then rather than I have to. But he's got a team that he's built up. You've got a team that you built up. As we kind of talked a little bit beforehand, is that we all are working towards that. And the things is what you just talked about, the valleys. We just kind of have to go through those valleys to get to that hill. And it's a beautiful thing that when you get to that hill, but at the same time, when you're even in those valleys, kind of what Ryan said is that you had to put family first. A lot of people see me like, man, you take off from work real quick, man. I've always put my family first. I go to the doctor's appointment. I don't miss the school stuff. I'll sacrifice otherwise. I'll work till 11, 12, 1 o'clock. When I was doing the events for WFR, like a lot of time you'll see me online at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I'm planning, I'm doing stuff. I'll be commenting, and people be like, what the hell's wrong with you? Why are you up until 3, 4 a.m.? Because when I'm working, I'm working. Like
Yeah.
there's nonstop work because if I gotta get things done, if there's deadlines, we're gonna make it happen one way or another. We're built that way where we're gonna need to do what we need to do. But bringing those values, man, I think is
No, I think
very
that what
important.
you said is like that's awesome, man. I applaud you for that because again, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, to me, it's like figure out now everybody's priorities can be different. I'm not saying the priorities that I have or you have need to be what somebody else's priorities are, but I think it's important to figure out what those things are and then don't, you know, I mean, dude, a couple days after my daughter, who's now in college, was born, I was on a plane to go to SEMA, and my mom came to stay with my wife, who is managing a newborn. It was our first child, and I'm thinking back to now, and I'm like, what the hell was I doing getting on a plane to SEMA a couple days after my daughter was born? But that was my mentality at the time. Like, I have to be at SEMA. I got to be there. So I applaud you for that. It's a perspective I didn't have for a lot of my life, and I wish I would have.
Do you see that the comment there about the AI? Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna go back to it. I was gonna let Patrick finish, and I'm gonna
Burns, what's going on, man?
he's got a very solid point question right there. I would love to take your point of view on this because I think a lot of people are really in uh, kind of confusion on the AI stuff.
Yeah, I think, well, there's a couple different things. I mean, the way I describe AI is a tool, much like a snap-on ratchet is the tool in the hands of a mechanic. Uh, you know, AI is the tool in the hands of a business owner. So AI in many cases, as far as AI is not going to come and install film. I mean, so the people that in this industry that I mean, I think we're pretty safe from that. But where you're going to be able to utilize AI is in doing some marketing and things like that. And it's a tool to be used. The people that understand how to use the tool are the ones that are going to benefit from the tool the most. Again, a certified mechanic, a ratchet in that person's hands is more valuable than it is in my hands because he knows how to use the tool better than me. So I think what AI is going to do in my mind is it's going to allow certain tasks to be done much quicker. I'll give you an example. I was working for a client earlier today, and we used to do, when I first started, if you wanted to create a logo for a business, you would typically have a graphic designer create 3, 5, 10 samples. And then the person would say, I kind of like sample 8, but I like this element of sample 3. And then the graphic designer would take those and try to meld them together. Now I created a logo for a client today, literally utilizing an AI tool, and I created it for them in about 15 minutes, and they loved it. So that used to be hours of time and back and forth and things like that. They gave me some feedback on the first model. I entered that into the AI tool, it modified it, and within 15 minutes, we were able to go through 4 iterations and lock in on, I love it. That's it. And then I was able to tell AI, give it to me in a PNG with a transparent background, and boom, they had their logo. I mean, that's something that would have been probably days of back and forth and hours of graphic design work and things like that now can be
Yeah.
done. So it still needed to be done, but AI was a tool that allowed that to go from a 4-day to, in some cases, 2-week process down to 15 minutes. So I feel like AI is going to allow us to do things much faster. With that time that you save, then the question is going to be like, hey, what can you do with that time to run your business more efficiently? I think you could use AI for a lot of things like, managing your books and things like that. So a lot of the things that I think what AI is going to allow us to do, when you and I were talking about working 70 hours a week, a lot of it was us doing our jobs and then maybe 20 hours a week of taking care of paperwork and this and that and all the administration stuff that went along with the 50 hours of work. What AI is going to allow you to do is potentially eliminate a lot of that so that you can accomplish just as much or more in the same amount of time or even less time. So
Yeah.
so I think Burns was asking for like 3 specific ways, but I think one way I just mentioned is that. I think another way is, people are always saying like, hey, I don't have time to post to social media or things like that. Um, you know, I think you could take certain things and you could say, okay, here's a picture, a couple pictures. Here's the type of service I do with automotive window tint, PPF, things like that. And then, you know, basically go in and say, okay, I'm going to create what I use GPT for is I actually do the work. And then I ask GPT to like say, okay, I'm going to craft wordsmith a post I really, really like. And then I'm going to say, okay, I want to have 5 or 6 posts about the same topic. So take this and give me 7 other examples that kind of go along with this. So the trick of AI is to learn how to prompt it. That's the magic of AI, knowing how to prompt it. And I think, if you do that, you can. Now, for the time it took me to create one social media post, I created 7. Does that
Hmm.
make sense?
Yeah.
Like, um, so I think that that's where I feel like it can benefit people. Then, utilizing tools to where a lot of the things in our industry are what I would consider evergreen. So a lot of people are like, how do I post every day? I mean, I don't have time. Well, if you're using a tool that allows you to create a social media post it today, then post it 3 months from now, then post it 6 months from now, post it 9. So basically, once you get that going, you get that queue filled up. Literally, you're posting every day, but a lot of that work was done one time, and that created 7, 8, 9 posts into the future. So again, it's back to saving time. And I think that the do I know everything that AI is going to look like in the next 2 years? No, I don't think anybody does. But our company, the way we're looking at AI is a set of tools, and the person that understands how to use those tools the best are the people that are going to be in the best position to win. So my encouragement to anybody with AI is to understand the top 20 to 25 AI tools that are out there and understand how to use them to your advantage. And I think you're going to be way ahead of the game.
How would you suggest getting started with like as simple as like the posting like that and having AI help you?
I mean, there's a couple different AI. Most people know ChatGPT. There's also Grok, which is another one. There's also Google Gemini. There's a lot of different programs out there. As an agency, we use one that's kind of robust called SEM Rush, but you could actually do it within Facebook as well. To where when we create a post, we can not only post it currently, but we can schedule it out and we can look at the calendars and make sure all the days are covered and everything like that. Where I think AI comes into that is taking a post and saying, give me 7 different like I'm going to create one post. Give me 7 different variations of this post, complete with hashtags and everything like that.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're taking your work product and telling it, give me 7, and it'll give you and I could say, give me this post, but make it more engaging. Make it so somebody's going to really want to like click to learn more and things like that. So ask AI to like make your post better for you and things like that. So those are
Okay.
how I would use that.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I like
But
that.
I don't love when people use AI to just like copy and paste and just, like, you know, ask it to do all the work and then just copy and paste it. I think you're opening yourself up to, it's going to look like AI. It's not going to feel authentic. I think you have to do the work, but then ask AI to exponentially expand that to make it, like that work go that much further. So I think that's where the magic is. I think too many people are using AI to do all the work, and it feels that way. It feels inauthentic.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think you are coming up with what you want to do, but it's just use AI as an editor or as an improvement tool to kind of like just kind of give you like an editor's point of view,
Yeah,
right?
I'll
I
give you a great
use moderate for
example. I'll give you a great example internally. Google does not like what they consider thin content, thin content. What they consider thin content on your website in article form is content that's less than 600 words long. So sometimes if you're writing about a project or a car that you just did or a flat glass project or whatever, you may write it up and you may write the description and then you realize it's only 350 words or 400 words. Where I would use AI is, now I've created a post, it's my work. I mean, I've actually done it, and created the post. But what I may actually do in that situation, rather than struggle with it, is I may take that whole article, 400 words, and put it into AI and say, can you make this article expanded and make it 600 words instead of 400 words? And AI will read the article I wrote and it'll figure out innovative ways to expand that to make it 600 words. And you could even tell it, like, I'm going to post it to Google, and I want to highlight these keywords in the article. So you could like tell AI, like, hey, here's the project I'm working on, but I actually want it to be 750 words long. Can you take this 400 words and make it 750 words?
Oh yeah.
I mean, those are the ways I think you can really effectively use AI to benefit you without it just being some copy and paste, like, knee jerk thing. You really have to, I think, put in the work, but then utilize AI as a tool to help you.
Hmm.
But we're fortunate that we live in an industry, we work in an industry that, I don't think AI anytime in anybody's lifetime listening to this podcast has got to worry about AI coming and installing film and taking their job away from them. So,
maybe
but
maybe
if
someday.
you were a graphic designer today, I'd be a little bit worried about it taking my job.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, AI has a lot of similarity when it does come up with stuff, whether it's posts, whether it's images and stuff. I mean, I think there's still going to be a need for a graphic designer because of their unique mind and detail and adjustments, right? AI is improving, but I don't think it's quite there yet.
No, I
Uh,
agree. I agree with you. I mean, a good example of that is Carrie. I love Carrie at Iron Duck, and now she's at Tint Wiz. Carrie does unbelievable work, and I would gladly recommend Carrie to anybody. But that process is going to be, you're going to get unbelievable, exceptional work, but you're going to have to spend some money and you're going to have to take some time to do it. For my client today, they didn't have a logo. They were just looking for something that fit the bill and worked out. And, they didn't want to spend a lot of money. So that 15-minute back and forth worked for them. I'm not saying that AI will take the place of a carry, but I think it'll take the place of a lot of just basic grind out, I want a flyer for my Black Friday sale.
Right. Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, I
I
mean, I've had it where I wanted to design something and it would just wasn't doing what I wanted. So what I've ended up doing was using another software to put in the layout, and then I was used AI. Hey, just mush it together. Give me a fine, images of this with this layout because AI was having a hard time doing exactly what I want. But when I was able to put it in another software in the layout I want, it was able to understand it and put it to and give me the end result that I wanted. So, I think there's a lot with what you're talking about there is that you can use the AI to your advantage, but you also have to watch out for, the same thing being reproduced over and over again, because I think Google also, as well as other people, are going to pick up when you're just using AI and it's not as empathetic. I mean, I don't know how you want to say it.
No, I agree. I mean,
I,
the T-shirt I gave out at WFCT this year, that, in a world full of trends, be a classic. That shirt I gave out, that logo was 100% produced by AI.
mhm.
Just prompted AI. I mean, so I'm not saying that it's like, you're right, it's not perfect. And I think you have to work with it. I often tell people learning how to talk to AI, like, a lot of times people ask AI to do something and AI does it. A lot of times people don't think about, like, if I'm working with AI for a client, I may enter into AI a bunch of different information about this client and their business. I educate AI on, hey, this is ABC Window Tinting. They've been in business for 35 years. They're in this market. They're known for this, and this. They carry these products. So you may enter a couple pages worth of information, and now AI is like, you know, now if I ask AI to make me a social media post for ABC Window Tinting, they're fully educated on who ABC Window Tinting is. I think where a lot of people miss the mark is they don't educate AI. They just expect AI to spit out results for them. But if you learn how to prompt it and you learn how to educate it and spend the time up front to say, okay, I'm going to create an AI, channel for ABC Window Tinting, and I'm going to really let AI understand who ABC Window Tinting is. It's kind of scary how good AI can get at doing things once it really understands.
So I think the key thing you said a few times there is learning how to prompt it, right? So you actually have to learn how to communicate, I guess, with the AIs to get what you want out of it. It seems like.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think that, and the only way you're going to learn that is to spend time doing it with AI. And a lot of people don't understand, like I said, that you can educate AI on a particular, a particular topic, a particular dealer, a particular thing that you want. And then the results AI is going to spit out are going to be way, way better than they would be otherwise. And that's a step that a lot of people don't do either because they don't know or they don't want to take the time. But I guarantee you, if I fed 2 to 3 pages of content about a client into AI and then asked AI to generate the next 5 social media posts for that client, you'd be blown away at how good those posts were.
Yeah.
Well, it's at that 1 hour mark. We've covered a lot of stuff. I know we can probably talk for a lot longer as well. And I really do appreciate Patrick you coming on and answering a lot of these guys' questions and sharing your experience and your knowledge, which is very valuable, especially for anybody that's trying to improve whether their business or their workplace or themselves. But I think the AI with Burns' question was something that a lot of people would love to feedback on. Maybe we can do another podcast where we can cover
Yeah,
more on the AI.
I'd
Um,
love to, because there's a lot of practical things. It's one of the things I tried to do at WFCT, just give people some practical takeaways. Because AI can be, a big elephant in the corner of the room, and a lot of people are like, I don't even know how to approach it because it just seems like this massive thing. And I think part of it is you just take 3 4 5 practical steps, like how you can go home tomorrow and start utilizing AI, and then once you start using it, you'll start learning more and more. But it's something that, don't be afraid of it. But I think there's some ways to get in a practical way to where you can utilize it to help you out. And then again, I don't even know what AI is going to look. I did my presentation for WFCT. They asked for my PowerPoint like 2.5 months early before WFCT. I went back and asked them if I could change it twice before my presentation because AI had changed enough in those 2.5 months that I really felt like there were some slides I wanted to modify before I had my speaking session because things had changed within those 2.5 months on 2 different occasions. So I can't even tell you with any certainty what everything's going to look like with AI 6 months from now. What I'm encouraging people to do is to get involved because when you're using it, you're going to see these new things as they come out and you're going to evolve with it. But if you wait a year and a half, 2 years to jump in, this train is going to be going so fast you're not even going to be able to fathom how to get on board. So
even
my
if you're
encouragement is
jumping
to
in
start using it.
even if you're jumping in right now, we're already behind a lot. It's like you
Yeah.
said, in the 2 months that you made the presentation, you had to make a whole bunch of changes. Even right now, I've talked to Carlos last year, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm starting to use AI." I'm like, I was starting to learn about it, and I was really hesitant to use it. But a lot of it was like, man, you really gotta start feeding the information, no, letting you know who Cash is, letting you know who film brand is, letting him know what top tint is. Like, it will understand what are you trying to do after you start feeding it. Hey, look at it from this point of view. I want something that's this way. You have to really give it more direction than, hey, make me an image.
Well, and I'll say one more thing too. You can also use it because it understands Google and it understands probably the Google algorithm better than we do as individuals. So Google has something that they call Discover, which they actually will kind of amplify your an article or things like that you wrote for your website, but it's really not everything gets picked up on Discover. So, but one time I wrote an article for a client, and within like 24 hours, I got 50,000 views on the website of that article. And I was like, I didn't understand what I did different with that article to get 50,000 views. And then I realized that that article got picked up by Google Discover. Well, Google doesn't exactly tell you how to get picked up by Google Discover. So, what I started to do when I was writing articles, I'd write a whole article about something and then I would run it through AI and I'd be like, can you modify this article to increase the likelihood that it will get picked up by Google Discover? And AI understands all the little ins and outs of like what Google's looking for to put it on Google Discover. So Google will modify the article in such a way. Doesn't mean it's automatically going to get picked up by Google Discover, but it'll increase the likelihood that it'll get picked up on Google Discover. So there's just one example of how I would use it to say, I'm going to take my work and then I'm going to take the genius that is AI and say, take my work and increase the likelihood that it gets picked up by Google Discover
Hmm.
so it gets in front of more people.
You know, I'm gonna have to rewatch this whole podcast again to just learn a lot of that stuff because I'm getting it, but I'm also
Well,
missing a
let's
lot
do
of it.
let's do another session and just talk AI. We can do
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
let's do it. Let's set up something to do just AI conversation. Like next podcast is all AI.
Hmm.
Okay.
You know, once we get done with it, let's look at your calendar because I know you're a busy man. And let's set it up, man. Like I'll
Sounds
love it.
good.
Jordan
All
said
right,
that he
man.
wants to get you on his show too.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
Jordan would love to get you on the Dark Truth as well. He can actually all
Jordan, you know I'm down, man. Just reach out anytime. I love to be on your show, man. I appreciate everything you're doing.
Guys, if you guys haven't seen the big old wheel in the background that's spinning, that it means that it's time for a giveaway. So if you don't see your name right now, is the time to get your name on there. Patrick, I really, really again appreciate you, brother. This means a lot. You know, we've been trying to do this for the last 6 months, honestly, and it's been a pleasure that we're able to do it. And thank you again. But yeah, let's do another one with the AI because I think you got a lot of people that are really interested in taking your point of view on this. So
Sounds great.
whether you want to do it this month, next month, you let me know and we'll make it happen. But any last words you wanna say? Whether
No,
while we bring on these sponsors logos one more time to thank them for their support for this group. I just want to kind of give that out there. So our sponsor of the week
yeah.
is Important Sauce and Autobahn, and I will bring it in this way so that way Autobahn doesn't get covered up because it kind of looks
No, I
bad.
I don't really have any last words to say. I appreciate you having me on. I had a really good time. I always, good time talking to you guys. Again, I just, the biggest thing is, like I said, anything we can do to move the industry forward and be unified in the industry, I'm all for. So, and again, reiterate to everybody, if we were friends at one time and somehow we're not friends now, it's because my account got hacked. Let's be friends again.
Yes, yes. Yeah,
Why can't we
reach out to
be friends?
Patrick, get reconnected, become friends again. Patric is an awesome person. Patric, we really appreciate you. Thank you for everything you do for the industry. If you guys are not aware of Window Film Pros group, please go and join that group. Patric has a lot of great people in there, and he also has a. If you got a shop, he's also got a listing site that is very minimum to get on and benefits you by posting you up there in your location. So, Patric, if I'm not mistaken, it's $69 a year, right?
69.95 a year, and that includes your listing, a backlink to your website from our website, and so if you understand how SEO works, the backlink from an authoritative website in the industry to your website, that alone is probably worth the 69.95 as far as SEO. But we're just really trying, we utilize those funds to push information out to consumers to drive more knowledge about window film to consumers. So it's something I created a long time ago to just try to, again, the reason we collect the funds is to help us create more content to push out there to raise consumer awareness for window film.
Yeah, man, everything costs money, as everybody knows. If you're a business owner, you know that. So, just to let you know, I am on that website, so I'm not just saying it.
I appreciate it too, man. I appreciate it.
Plus,
But
you'll get the Window Film Pros newsletter on monthly basis as well too. So they'll send you that too once you're signed on. But I really appreciate you, Patric. And let's get some winners. And since you're the guest, you tell me when to spin it, man, and I'll spin something. We're gonna give away as one of the sponsors important sauce. One bottle is gonna be for that, and then I've got a prize. Something for the winter prize that I forgot to bring it with me, but I really wanted to showcase it. But I don't know if I can pull up a picture of it, maybe on my phone. I know I took it. Oh, I do have it here. I have it in the group chat. So it's a blanket with the film logo on it.
oh, sweet.
Now, you may or may not like the background because I picked the green color because I wanted something that just stood out, and the green was to me was popping. Plus, I like green color, man. So I went with my choice, and if you don't like it, don't take it. Pass it on to the next person. But I'm gonna spin this for the sauce first, and then we'll spin it for the blanket. Um,
Can't complain about free though, right?
exactly. Right? You complain about free. So I'm gonna try to see if I can. It's green, so you're not really. You can kind of see it on my phone, but
No, no, that doesn't work.
it doesn't work, right?
No.
No,
With the green
well,
background.
if you hold it just right, it kind of you. Oh, nah.
It's like, nah. Not really. Okay. But I'm gonna let me see if I can do this. Give me a second here. The wheel's still on, right?
Yes.
So okay, all right. I'm gonna give me 1 second here because now I've talked myself into something. Oh my god. Okay, give me 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Ryan, you can always talk while I'm searching for this, man. Pick up the ball, man.
Thomas
Hey,
says it's okay. Nothing. Yep.
by the way, too, Cash, your hats are definitely on point because you gave me one at SEMA, and Ronnie, my partner at iMagnet, stole that thing off me. I didn't even have it 24 hours. It
I
was
saw
stolen.
that. I saw that Ronnie took that hat because I saw that he posted with you at SEMA. So you didn't
Yeah.
even get to take it home. He got
No, not even 24 hours. Gone.
he got you quick on that one, man.
Yeah.
That was funny to kind of see that. All right, so here it is. Okay, I posted it. So it's a pretty large. That's a windshield right there, guys. So it's not meant to be a dash towel. So just because I got it on a windshield, don't think it's for a dash towel. You can obviously use it, but oops, where I go?
Yeah, that's an old Chevy truck, I think, windshield. That's a full windshield that's laying on.
So it's a WeAre-Film. It's got a white background, but it's got the lime green background to it, but it's got the logo on it. So that's what it is. Just wanted to kind of put that out there so you guys can see it. So if you want it, great. If you don't want it, we'll pass it on to somebody else. But I'm gonna put the wheel back up. I am gonna look at any more names. Nope, I don't have no more names. So we're gonna shuffle it, and when Patrick says it, we're going for the sauce first, and then we're going for the blanket second.
So you just need me to say when? That's it?
That's it, man. I wish
All right.
I can give you the remote and you can just kind of like hit it, but I don't have that feature yet.
No, that's okay. So just tell you when, or are you gonna?
You tell me when, man.
Okay. Right now.
There we go. Thomas, just to let you know that he said it right when it was about your name. So if it lands on you, it's rigged. And if it lands on Trip, it's rigged anyway because Trip will always win. Trip hasn't won in a really long time. So Trip been trying to get that sauce for a minute as well, too. So Trip, if you're still in the comments, man, I might have to refresh my page on here because it might have been frozen. It's rigged. I need the towel. All right. So it was frozen for a little bit, but I guess there were some comments that were frozen, but I need the towel. All right. It's rigged. No Trip again. Sorry.
Richard says he's sending a water bottle.
Send me the blanket. Trip, so you don't want the sauce? You want me to pass it on to somebody else? We'll keep you on the wheel and we'll spin it for somebody else if you don't want it. Tell me now, man.
He said it's great also. What? Oh,
gel is
it's gel.
Great. All right, so you keeping the gel then? He left.
Trip's dipped.
All right, Trip, we're waiting on you. Had to buy some gel from Richard. All right. So do you want the sauce or do you not want the sauce, man? He wants the blanket.
Send me the sauce.
All right, there you go.
Trip, send me the sauce.
Trip is gonna get the sauce. Trip gonna get sauced up for the holidays. All right, Patrick, for the blanket, because there are some people that actually
here
like
we
that
go.
blanket. Look at that. Surprise, surprise.
All right, so I'm gonna make sure you guys know I'm doing this totally fair. So go ahead, get it going.
All right, so
you got it?
Yep.
Okay, right. I'm covering my eyes so I can't even see where it's at. So right now.
Right now, there you go. Oh, Seth. All right, Seth. Are you in the comments? Because Justin's like, Daddy wants a blanket. Seth, are you in the comments, sir? Let's see if you're still here. All right.
Yep, there he is.
Hell yeah. I love how people be like, oh, yeah, he's gone. Give it to me.
Yeah.
Daddy got a blanket. Look at that.
That's awesome.
Line. All right. Well, guys, we really appreciate you guys for joining us tonight. We want to thank again to Patrick for making this night very educational and very informative. And we are definitely going to be coming back with the AI version of the podcast, and we'll focus strictly on that. Other than that, thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. Any last words from you two gentlemen?
No, I appreciate it. Hope everybody's having a great holiday kickoff with Thanksgiving this last week, and hope you guys have a terrific whole stretch of the holiday season. Prosperous, healthy, everything.
Awesome. Same here from me, man. From everybody, happy holidays. Enjoy your December. Enjoy your family time. And we'll see you on the next time. And I think, Ryan's back. He was frozen for a minute.
Yep. No, I was listening. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
See you guys. Take care.
Bye.
Later.